over and over. So be aware. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, first time speakers, young lady in the purple blouse. Yes, ma'am. Lavender.
Sylvia, Engel, 82 Winthrop Road. I'm opposed, I'd like to add my voice in opposition to the redevelopment agency, but I'm also concerned that we could spend $165,000 to develop a redevelopment agency. I think the time has come for the council to have their own lawyer. There are too many unanswered questions here in this room tonight. It's scary, it really is, and I hope we get some answers later. During the and I'm scared too because I think we're going to end up with a 4-3 vote. And it has been that way since the election, even though during the campaign, Dr. Prasad went overboard to say they're not going to be a rubber stamp council. We've proven you wrong. You are a rubber stamp council, and I'm afraid tonight we're going to see 4-3 again. So I think we need our own lawyer for the council.
Gentleman over here.
Yeah, my name is Jim Markano, 215 Sutton's Lane, Edison. That's the high-speed lane of the turnpike. There's one thing I'd like to say, the gentleman here first before, that didn't like the speed bumps. If I can tear them up and put them in front of my house, great, let me do that. But anyway, redevelopment. The word itself is scary. It says redevelopment. That in itself is scary. That's all I got to say.
First time speakers, gentleman right here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Carl Peter Klapper, 61 Fairview Avenue, Edison, New Jersey. Not that far from the redevelopment for the train station. What I have to say about the redevelopment agency is that it is a very dangerous thing to put in place. Some book recommendations were given before. I'll give one to you now. It's called Death and Life of the Great American Cities by Jane Jacobs. Jane Jacobs, you may or may not recall, was the lady that stopped Robert Moses. And what I see this redevelopment agency as being as an avenue for the next Robert Moses. It's got sweeping dictatorial powers. Nobody can really be in support of that unless they themselves have those powers. And some of us don't even want them. And it is going to be very much of a political organization. It's going to be selected by some process, and that's necessarily going to be political. It's going to lack the expertise of a certified planner, of somebody that actually can do urban design and develop and planning. And I understand that we actually have somebody in-house that already can do that. It also presents a rather fractured view of the planning for the entire township, in that particular areas are going to be redeveloped instead of having a comprehensive master plan. I would suggest that that this motion be tabled in favor of a motion to direct the planning resources of the town to come up with a master plan that then can be discussed with the council, with the people of Edison, and refined to the point where we have some understanding of where we're going as a town. My own particular preferences, I think, are fairly well known. I am very much in favor of a pedestrian-oriented development, such as is advocated in Jane Jacobs' book, very much in terms of diversity zoning, which means that it's not a single use. In fact, it's requiring a very tightly integrated mixed use. That would mean that any redevelopment that occurs would have some residential component to it, but it would not be all residential. And it would, in fact, have all uses, commercial, light industrial, office, what have you, okay? and having that as a way for people to be able to walk to the stores, to work, and that the best place to do that sort of development would in fact be near the train station. My view in terms of Hart's Mountain and Revlon is that since they are located far away from any sort of public transportation, the best thing to do with that, in the words of Frank Lloyd Wright, is to raise it, allow it to go to seed, and become part of the open space. Let me see. Yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about the issue. I think you really ought to consider something that would be as a master plan that all of us can take a look at, and the decision should remain with respect to the council to make the approval for that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. First time speakers, yes, sir.
Jim Kelly, Route 27. You're going to, with this redevelopment, have more housing. I don't know how much it's going to be. More kids going to go into the schools. We have turned down 3 or 4 of the last bond issues in the last few years. Last one went down with the help of the candidate backed by the mayor for the school board. What are we going to do? Have trailers at all the schools for these kids? I just want to remind the town council that you're an independent body. You're like the Congress. You're not following what the president's lead. Well, think for yourselves. I hope the students are taught to teach by themselves.
First time speakers? Second time speakers? Sir?
Richard Sweeney, Sutton's Lane, Edison, New Jersey. Do we have a housing authority in Edison Township?
Yes, sir.
I don't think the attorney is up to speed because he said we didn't have a housing authority in Edison, which you can do a redevelopment authority through a housing authority. But he quoted to the council as well to the people that there was no housing authority in New Brunswick. I mean, I'm sorry, I keep saying New Brunswick, in Edison. One other thing was with the Halper Farm and we're trying to do a redevelopment over there. Right now, Piscataway is grasping for straws about paying his Halper family $18 million that was just turned over in litigation. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Prupis?
Craig Prupis, 30 Edgemont Road. It's interesting. So far, I have not heard anybody speak in favor of this. If you'll entertain me. But if you can just swing the camera around.
Excuse me, excuse me,
I want
sir.
to see how many
Excuse
people
me,
here
Mr.
are actually in
Prupis.
favor.
Excuse me, Mr. Prupis.
No, you want to do
Get
that? Okay. I want to then welcome everybody who is in favor of this. Please come up, enlighten us, and I want to see what really, how this really benefits us. I'm sure the council will tell us the mayor's view, but I want to hear your view.